I mean, all you got to do is look at the state of health of our country. I mean, a lot of us know what to do, but clearly we're not doing it. But I will argue that most of us really we don't fully understand the power and importance of it. I mean, take diabetes, for example. I was taught in medical school that, diabetes is a chronic progressive disease. And once someone has it, they have it for the rest of their life. And then, I should start them on these oral medications. Those will work for a while, but eventually they're probably going to need insulin and they're probably going to go on dialysis and lose a toe and have a heart attack. And, if I treat them the way that I was taught to treat them, that's exactly what would happen. Like we're told, you need this doctor for the rest of your life. You need these specialists for the rest of your life. You need these drugs for the rest of your life. And it is simply not true. We reverse diabetes, every day. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And so we are kind of led astray to be dependent on the medical system because it's very, very profitable for the system to be that way. And so we do kind of know what to do and we have a general idea about it, but I don't think we truly deeply understand the importance of it and the power that we have to be healthy, optimized, awesome human beings.
Hi there. Welcome to the Connecting KC podcast. I'm Rachel Kilmer, also known as Rach the Realtor on the internet, where I love, connecting all things KC. I'm a metro area real estate agent, retired sports reporter, and mom, and probably too old to call myself a TikToker, but honestly, that's how we got here. You can learn more at www.rachtherealtorkc.com. But this show is all about introducing you to all of the movers and shakers, interesting people, heartfelt stories, and funny quirks that make this vibrant community home. So let's get right to it with today's episode of Connecting KC. Welcome into today's episode of Connecting Kansas City, where I am so excited to be joined by Dr. Bradley Dyer. Dr. Dyer is on a mission to make a positive impact in the world by helping people regain health and vitality by getting to the root of cause of their health concerns. He believes the body has an amazing ability to heal itself and that treatments should focus on creating health rather than treating disease. Dr. Dyer is a board certified in internal medicine and also completed a residency in psychiatry. While working as a hospitalist physician, Dr. Dyer completed a fellowship in integrative medicine with Dr. Andrew Weil in the University of Arizona. He then went on to become a certified functional medicine practitioner through the Institute for Functional Medicine. Dr. Dyer still works 1 week a month as a hospitalist and then spends the other 3 weeks per month serving his patients at Premier Integrative Health, which is his true passion. When he is not working, Dr. Dyer loves spending time with his wife and 2 boys, and he is a big believer in the healing power of nature, so he loves to be outdoors as much as possible, especially when it involves cycling, hiking, and camping. Hello to a man of many titles. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So let's start really high level. What is integrative? What is the difference between the 2 types of medicine you practice? I'll say it for dummies. 1 week a month you're at a hospital. The other 3 weeks you're in your clinic. What's the difference in the 2 roles?
Yeah, I mean, there's a very big difference. My role as a hospitalist, I mean, that's what I was originally trained to do. And that's if you're sick enough to get into the hospital, I'm the guy that would take care of you there. But it's really, hey, let's just get these people well enough to not need the hospital anymore and then send them out into the world to the primary care doctors where they deal with the conventional medical model. What I do in my practice, is really functional medicine. And I jokingly say it is the opposite of dysfunctional medicine. And, with conventional medicine, it's a lot of, oh, you have these symptoms. That is this disease. And then here are the medications that we use to treat that disease. And, oh, if you have side effects of these medications, here's some additional medications to help with those. And so on and so forth, where functional medicine really is, how do we get to the root cause of what's going on in the body? The body rarely makes mistakes. And so what is going on with diet and lifestyle and mindset and environment and all of these things? And, as you mentioned, our focus really is always to create health. It's never to treat a disease. And so it's what can we do to create health in the body? And what's awesome about that is when we do that, everything gets better, relationships and sleep and energy and mental clarity and, lowering your risk of, every disease on the planet. And so those kind of are the big differences in the 2 things that I do.
Yeah, it's so interesting because it is such a broad scope when you're talking about health. And I think it's interesting you also have a background in psychiatry because if you're looking at someone's whole picture, you're like, why do you have this issue? It could be like 85 different factors. Like, how on earth do you pinpoint like, oh, this is the tweak we need to make? Or like, how do you like backtrack to the beginning to figure out what it is that's causing problems in someone's body?
You know what's crazy really is a lot of the root causes are very, very similar. And so you may have a list of like 7 different diagnoses, and they honestly may only have a couple of root causes. If you really, really distill down health, I mean, it comes down to inflammation, oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, what's going on with your gut microbiome. And when you really kind of hone in on all those things, it's amazing and beautiful how health just kind of falls into place. And so sometimes people will come in, they're like, well, I got this, and this. And so instead of saying, well, here's our plan for 1, here's our plan for 2, here's our plan for 3, like, all right, let's see what's going on in your gut. Let's, fix the gut-brain, gut microbiome connection, clean up your diet a little bit, teach you how to handle stress, replenish vitamins and minerals, all of that stuff. And then let's just see where we're at. And a lot of times that list of 12 things is now down to like 2. And so the root causes are all kind of very similar. And if you really kind of get into the root of that, it's amazing how the body just falls into place.
Do insurance companies cooperate with this, or is it difficult to get things pushed through?
Yeah, no, they really don't, and we get this question a lot. Do you take insurance? And my common answer is it's not that we don't take insurance. It's that insurances refuse to cover the services that we offer. And that's really kind of what it boils down to, because they want to support volume, as many patients in one day as possible that lead to as many prescriptions as possible or as many referrals to other providers as possible. That's what keeps that conventional medical model, or I call it the medical industrial complex. That's what keeps that going. They don't want you dead, but they don't want you cured. And so a lot of what we do is out of pocket, but our goal is for you to look back a year from now, 10 years, 20 years, and feel like you 100x'd your investment. That's the difficulty with functional medicine is it is an upfront investment, but the medical model is designed to get your money in one way, shape, or form. And it usually just piles up as you get older, where we're designed to make you independent of that medical model. So you're not investing all of your money in your older age into your health.
Mm-hmm. So this is a very big question. So you may not have an answer right off the top of your head, but given your role and what you do, if you could like wave a magic wand and fix one thing about our healthcare system, what would you love to see? Like if you could just one day, boom, this piece is different.
Just change the incentives. The incentives right now is for volume and for disease management. Here's something really cool that actually kind of answers that question. It's not going to work in today's age, but you go back 1,000 years and you look at traditional Chinese medicine, and the way it worked back then is they paid their doctor when they were healthy. And then if they got sick or they got some disease or something went wrong, you quit paying your doctor until you were healthy again. And then the payments restarted. So that doctor was very motivated to get you well because you weren't going to get paid until you got that person well again. And the problem now is the conventional model, it makes too many people too much money. And, it's hard to grasp how we're going to turn that ship around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so frustrating. Even if you're a generally healthy person, like for me, I go into the I go get a checkup once a year and that's about it. And it's like, just carry the expense of insurance to carry just for that is crazy. Yeah. So what do you wish people knew about functional medicine? Because I have a couple of friends that are really into it, and I'm always like, oh, you and your hippie medicine, that's so cute. I don't really know much about it. What do you wish me and like the average person knew about it when all we've heard is just a couple of our friends kind of dabble in it, basically?
Yeah, I don't know if this is what I wish people knew about functional medicine, but it's what I wish they knew about health is the power of our day-to-day decisions. I like to say God gave us all free will, but we are just not free from the consequences of our decisions. And, the things that, like, for example, what we eat everything we eat either increases inflammation or decreases it, drives us closer to disease or further away from disease. Everything we eat and breathe and drink and rub on our skin, it all talks to our DNA. It talks to our cells. It's sending a message. And, I wish people understand the power they have to be their own best doctor. We don't really make the correlation that, that drive-through is why we have brain fog or back pain, or anxiety or depression, all of the things that plague us. We don't really truly understand that, man, the lack of sunlight, the lack of physical activity, the lack of social connection, the lack of nature, the lack of good nourishing food. That is why we feel crappy. It's not a lack of, Prozac or ibuprofen in our bodies. And all of that is within our control. And so what I really wish people knew is the power they possess to have amazing health without the assistance of me or anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. So you mentioned nature, and in your bio, you mentioned how much you believe in the healing power of nature. So I'm curious, Kansas City is not Denver. We don't have the mountains here. What are your favorite spots to get outside and get fresh air and exercise around the metro?
Oh, for me, hands down, it's Parkville Nature Sanctuary. One, because I live in Parkville, so that it is very convenient. But, it's just an amazing place. I also really love Shawnee Mission Park. I love Wyandotte County Park. Being a Northlander, I don't get way down south a lot. I know there's a lot of good places out there. I'm just not super familiar with them. But for me, I could be angry. I could be upset. I could be overwhelmed. I could be sad. And I go through, a walk through the Parkville Nature Sanctuary, and I'm at least 5, if not 95% better by the end of it. And so those are kind of my go-to spots.
Yeah, I love that. That's so true. I mean, even if you're just walking around your own neighborhood, it's not even nature necessarily. It's just fresh air.
Absolutely. Fresh air and sunlight.
Yeah, this thing I was stewing on, suddenly I've walked it away. So yeah, that is awesome. So on your company's website, you guys have a tab about personalized medicine. What is the difference between personalized medicine and functional medicine? Is there a difference?
Functional medicine is personalized medicine. Sometimes the term functional medicine could be a little bit nebulous to people. Like, what does that really mean? When you say personalized medicine, people, they have an idea of what I'm talking about, and it's really, just detailed to what's going on in your specific body. We do a lot of advanced testing where we know exactly what's going on with your metabolic system, with your inflammatory system, with vitamins and minerals, with, your gut microbiome. And so we make decisions based on your specific physiology. We even do functional genomics testing on all of our patients. And so we know down to the DNA level what's going on inside your body and what areas of diet and lifestyle and mindset modification that we can really hone in on that will specifically help you based off your own DNA. It's pretty cool.
That's wild. So where are you like how recent is this practice, the DNA stuff? Like, is this like all new cutting edge stuff, or has this stuff been around for a while and people just haven't known about it?
So, it has been somewhat affordable. It used to be just completely unaffordable, but it has been pretty affordable for probably at least the last 5 years or so. But the companies are refining how well they do the testing. I've done several other companies and they were good, but it was like this huge data dump of information and all these gene snips. You're like, well, what do they mean? How does that apply to me? What can I do about it? And the companies are getting better and better and better at narrowing it down to, okay, these specific gene snips are impactful to human health. There's things that you could do about them, and like the test that we use, it will identify kind of your top 3 pathways, that are impacting you specifically from a gene standpoint. And it'll talk about, okay, here are some diet things you can do to bypass those pathways. Here are some lifestyle things. Here are some supplement things. And what's cool about it is, the genes are your genes. They're never going to change. And so if you really take to heart these recommendations, it's going to dramatically change your life. And they're very simple. That's the beauty of it.
Sometimes that's almost frustrating though, when it's like, oh, I need to eat spinach and drink water. Like, as if I didn't know that. But it's like, yeah, but seeing it a tangible like correlation of like, yes, some more like leafy greens and more water would do you a lot of benefit. Like,
Yes, that's the power of some of these testings is I could show people. I'm not just saying it, pontificating on healthy stuff. I'm showing them a report that says, listen, you got these gene SNPs, the compounds, the phytochemicals, the polyphenols, the nutrients, whatever that are in these particular foods. These are going to talk to your genes in a way that other foods can't, that is going to give you an advantage to life, and it's really helping people kind of understand that. And it's also why, I have a health coach and a nutritionist, health coaches, and so a lot of us do kind of know what to do. Our job is to help you understand the true importance of that, personalize it to you, and then, guide you, hold your hand, encourage you, and give you that accountability and support along the way. And I honestly think that's what sets our practice apart is, there's a lot of functional medicine, practices in Kansas City, some really good ones. Some of my colleagues are brilliant individuals, way more book smarts than I have, but a lot of them are, solo practitioners and they have to do it all themselves. Well, here, it's a whole team. You're going to have your health coach, you're going to have your nutritionist, and each of us are going to be doing our part to make sure that what we recommend is understood and implemented.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. It's like, I just came from the gym, which is why I look the way I look, and I have a personal trainer, and I always tease him, like, you're just my glorified babysitter. It's like, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not gonna unless I have him accountability and like, watching and making sure I do it right. So it's the same thing. Yeah.
All you got to do is look at the state of health of our country. A lot of us know what to do, but clearly we're not doing it. But I will argue that most of us really we don't fully understand the power and importance of it. Take diabetes, for example. I was taught in medical school that, diabetes is a chronic progressive disease. And once someone has it, they have it for the rest of their life. And then, I should start them on these oral medications. Those will work for a while, but eventually they're probably going to need insulin and they're probably going to go on dialysis and lose a toe and have a heart attack. And, if I treat them the way that I was taught to treat them, that's exactly what would happen. Like, we're told, you need this doctor for the rest of your life. You need these specialists for the rest of your life. You need these drugs for the rest of your life. And it is simply not true. We reverse diabetes, every day. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And so we are kind of led astray to be dependent on the medical system because it's very, very profitable for the system to be that way. And so we do kind of know what to do and we have a general idea about it, but I don't think we truly deeply understand the importance of it and the power that we have to be healthy, optimized, awesome human beings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How does one, like a consumer, parse apart like pseudoscience from like this new technology is research backed and legit? And I ask this because I have staying with some girlfriends recently, and one had just done this testing that said like, oh, your body reacts better to like Tylenol than ibuprofen, or like you're predisposed for this or that, whatever. And she was like so excited. And another girlfriend was like, oh, that's bullcrap. That's not real. And I'm like, how are we supposed to know? Like, how do we know, how are there like websites where you can like look stuff up to check, or how do you recommend people sort through all of this tech that's out there and available to us?
Yeah. That's an awesome question. I wish I had a very, excellent, thorough answer for that. At this point, what I would say is work with a provider or a team that really can guide you on, what's BS and what's not. There may be websites out there that are really good for that. But here's the other problem is, with like Google searches, you will get what Google wants you to get. Like if you search something on Google, about holistic health, you're going to get mostly articles of, why you should, not listen to holistic health and why you should take these medications and why you should go the traditional route. That is what Google is going to give you, and so you really have to dig deep and look hard at that, because a lot of the messaging that you're going to get out there is no. Don't be independent. Don't, take your health into your own hands. rely on, these drugs and these, medical institutions and these things. That's what's really going, to keep you alive. And don't get me wrong, modern medicine plays a role. Like, I still do my 1 week a month as a hospitalist, and those people are sick enough to need conventional medicine. But what got them there was the conventional medicine model, partially, and so it's, there's a role for both. But for chronic disease, here's another crazy statistic. We spend more on healthcare, almost double the second industrialized nation, the amount of money that we spend on healthcare. Yet we are like second to last in all industrialized nations on, chronic health outcomes, because we're spending all of our money on, pharmaceuticals and all of these things. And so we're spending almost double, and our health is absolutely terrible. And that's all you really need to know, that the current model isn't working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fix it. Dr. Dyer, fix it.
It's one person at a time, that's what, we try to use social media for, and to spread the word there. And, it's part of the reason why I started doing group medical programs, specifically for metabolic health, like diabetes and, and weight loss and obesity and heart disease. And, because only a couple people can sit across my desk, each day. There's only so many hours of the day. My initial visit with patients is an hour and a half long, and my follow-ups are 45 minutes. And so you're very limited to the number of people you can see each day. And so that's why, we try to put empowering messages out on social media, and we try to do group programs. And the other beautiful thing about functional medicine is I absolutely love it when a patient comes to me and says, hey, I learned this from you. I taught it to my mom, my sister, my friend at church, or, whoever. And, they got a lot healthier because I taught them the thing that you taught me. And that is another really awesome, amazing, empowering way to improve this craziness that we have going on.
I love that. On TikTok, the girlies call that trickle down therapy. Like, they'll get on a therapy and be like, guess what my therapist just said? And then it's like free therapy for everyone. Yay. Love that. Okay, last two questions I'm going to ask you. I ask everyone that comes on the show. First one is, what is a great meal that you've had out and about in Kansas City recently?
Oh, gosh, I guess the first thing that came to mind, my wife and I just ate at Acre in Parkville. It's a new restaurant that opened up in Parkville, and so we really love that. I also really love True Food Kitchen. They're one of the few restaurants that has now, if not now, very soon, to be certified seed oil free. And so seed oils that's a whole other conversation of causing inflammation and chronic disease and all kinds of stuff. And so they use really clean, quality ingredients. So that's another place that, I love to go to.
I love that. It tastes so fresh. Their food is so good. Okay, last question is, where can people find you? So if people are interested in learning more about your practice, what you do, functional health in general, where's the best place for them to go?
Yeah, so our website is www.pihkc.com. So that's Premier Integrative Health KansasCity.com. You can type it all out if you really like typing, but you can also just do pihkc.com. You'll learn all about us on our website. I alluded to social media a couple times. We're on Instagram, it's Premier_Integrative_Health. On Facebook, it's just Premier Integrative Health. And on TikTok, it's Integrative DO is where we're at on social media. We do free consultations, phone consultations for people who want to learn more about our practice, what we do, what we're all about, our pricing structure, everything you ever wanted to know about us. Are we a good fit for each other? So that's a free consultation people can do by going to our website. There's a link for that. We do a lot of community events. We do cooking. We have a test kitchen in our clinic. So like last Friday, we just did a healthy grilling 101 cooking class. We use a version of a low carb diet that we call Keto Biome. It's a low carb diet that's, done right, to improve your gut health and microbiome. And we do classes on that. I do hike with the doc around town. We do, yoga in the park. And so all of that is on the community events section on our website. And so you can go to that to kind of see what we have going on, coming up in the future. And yeah, we're all about community. We love just being part of the wellness community in Kansas City.
Love that. Awesome. Sounds like you're an easy guy to find. So I have faith that they'll be able to find you. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be here, for educating me and our listeners about what you do, and for putting so much good energy and health out into the world.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Guys, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.